What if Napoleon faced Genghis Khan on the battlefield? Throughout history, there have been military leaders who changed the course of civilization. But what if two of the greatest military minds in history faced each other on the battlefield? What if Napoleon Bonaparte, the master of European warfare, clashed with Genghis Khan, the creator of the largest empire in history? Who would emerge victorious in this epic showdown of titans? Let's start by understanding who these two legendary figures were. Napoleon Bonaparte, the French emperor and military genius who lived in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. He fought over 60 major battles and won most of them thanks to his innovative strategies, use of artillery, and ability to adapt on the battlefield. His army, known as the Grande Armée, was well-trained, disciplined, and equipped with modern weaponry. Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire in the 13th century. He created the largest empire in history, conquering China, Central Asia, and parts of Eastern Europe. Genghis Khan's success lay in the mobility of his troops, mastery of open-field warfare, and the psychological pressure he exerted on his enemies. His army was composed of highly skilled horse archers who could attack swiftly and retreat just as quickly, leaving their enemies disoriented. Now, let's examine the tactics used by both commanders. Napoleon's strategy focused on maneuverability and precise calculation. Artillery played a key role. Napoleon often used it to break down enemy lines before sending in infantry. Infantry and cavalry were used to surround and chase down enemies after artillery bombardment. Napoleon relied on strict discipline and the ability of his troops to respond quickly to battlefield changes. Genghis Khan's strategy. Main strength was in his fast and mobile horse archers who could attack and retreat quickly, exhausting the enemy. He used the tactic of feigned retreat, luring enemies into traps. The Mongol army could cover vast distances in a short time, giving them an edge in speed and surprise. The command structure was flexible, and soldiers were trained to adapt to any situation. To make the battle fair, let's imagine it takes place on neutral ground, an open plain with some hills and forests on the edges. Advantages for Napoleon: more modern weapons and artillery, high discipline and tactical coordination. Advantages for Genghis Khan: light cavalry with superior maneuverability, ability to quickly change positions and attack from the flanks. The battle begins with Napoleon launching an artillery barrage. His heavy guns pound the Mongol horsemen, causing significant casualties. But the Mongols don't stand still. They quickly scatter, avoiding direct hits. Genghis Khan orders his archers to flank the French army and begin firing from a distance. The light cavalry starts to surround the French forces, forcing Napoleon to adapt his strategy. Napoleon notices his troops are being hit from the sides and sends his heavy cavalry to break the encirclement. The French cavalry charges into the Mongol archers, engaging in fierce hand-to-hand combat. Genghis Khan uses a feigned retreat, drawing the French deeper into a narrow pass. Napoleon's forces, thinking they have the upper hand, pursue the Mongols, only to find themselves ambushed from all sides. Realizing the mistake, Napoleon orders a retreat, but the Mongols give chase, cutting down the retreating French forces. In the end, Genghis Khan wins the battle through superior mobility and battlefield deception. Napoleon proved to be a brilliant tactician, but against the speed and flexibility of the Mongol army, even modern artillery and disciplined troops weren't enough. This battle remains a historical fantasy, but it highlights how different approaches to warfare could lead to vastly different outcomes. So, who was truly the greatest military commander? Napoleon or Genghis Khan? Perhaps each was a genius of their time, mastering the art of war in their own era. What do you think? Who would have won this battle? Let us know in the comments.